Owen, tell me something.
Truman, did you know that this NFL free agency season kind of got off to a crazy start?
Dahm, that's true. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Dahm. That's true. Of course, I'm your host of the most Truman Steam Machine Steen. As always, I'm joined here by the bomb.
Kaboom!
Owen Dahm, virtually today, the gym with the germs, as we call him over there.
Yeah, I got sick. Maybe drinking 3 days in a row had something to do with it. You never know, though.
Maybe drinking 3 days in a row. Maybe being in the biggest crowd, sweaty dancing crowd I've ever been in a long time. Was it a big one too?
Yeah, maybe.
Being down there for DJ Diesel down at the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, maybe someone was sick in our general area.
Yeah, right. Well, I survived. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm just built like that. I unironically have a very strong immune system. I don't know what to tell you.
I generally do, bro, but man, I've been getting sick.
Heartbreaking. But welcome everybody into another episode of Dahm. That's True. Today, we are talking Chiefs free agency again. We're gonna talk in depth about the Chris Jones deals. It happened last week whenever we were doing the hot takes. I'm also going to So we're gonna talk about Chiefs Chris Jones deal. Gonna talk about signing Hollywood Brown. We're going to maybe talk a little bit about L'Jarius Sneed. We'll see. We're going to talk about the general NFL offseason quarterback signings that we've had so far. We're going to talk about K-State men in the NIT. Talk about what's the best outcome that can come from that. We're also going to talk about the K-State women in the NCAA tournament. There's an obvious question that we must ask and answer for that. And we're also going to do a little top 5 here. We're going to do top 5 fun teams that have won the Natty, that could win March Madness, the national championship. And the reason that comes up is because I see so many people, and they're all picking UConn, which I get it. Defending champs, they've looked good. They've only lost 3 people. They're the number 1 overall seed, but it's fucking lame to pick the number 1 overall seed. And I feel like rarely does the number 1 overall seed win the national championship most of the time.
Yeah, it's really just, this tournament is all about just getting streaky and getting hot.
Right, absolutely. UConn was a 4 or 5 seed last year, but by the third game in, everyone's like, oh, they're going to win the national championship.
Well, it also, a whole bunch of the higher seeds lost.
Right, yeah. That too, yeah.
And that's just kind of how it goes. It's not like the NBA where generally the best team wins the finals because, it's a whole bunch of 7-game series.
Right. 7 national championships have pitted. Oh, wait, hold on. How many 1 seeds have won? The last 1 seed to win the national championship was actually in 2018 with Villanova.
That makes sense.
That was just a 1 seed. I'm not sure they were the number 1 overall seed.
Huh. Wasn't KU a 1 seed when they won in 2020?
But of the 34 national champions, 20 of them have been 1 seeds. This article is written in 2019. Hold on.
Yeah, I think KU was a 1 seed.
Yeah, I think so. All right, hold on. Number 1 overall. God damn, that's fucking 2015. How does nobody ask this question every year? Okay, Los Angeles Times. I'm going to have to fucking buy a subscription.
Don't buy a subscription for a fucking single question.
No, I'm not going to do that. I refuse. God, I don't want to know how many times a 1 seed. I want to know how many overall. Okay. God damn it. Okay. All right. I'm not going to find this. All right. I'm not going to find. Wait. No, I'm not going to find this answer. All right. It doesn't matter.
I'll Google it as well.
Thank you. Would you? Yeah, you have the full internet and both monitors at your disposal. I'm working off my phone and getting annoyed. It's all just about 1 seeds, and I need to know the number 1 overall seed, and nobody's willing to give me that. You could probably honestly Google list of number 1 overall seeds in the national champion in the men's bracket, and that's probably a Wikipedia list that you can see how far they've gone. Beside the point.
Oh yeah, that's actually
My issue is that I've seen so many people picking UConn. Jay Bilas, whatever. The guy from
I think it's Bilas.
The guy from ESPN, who's one of those like tournament bracket gurus, he just picked UConn, and I'm like, oh, come on, dude. So what we're gonna do is fun teams that could win the national championship, and our top 5 fun teams that could win. So that being said, let's get into it. Owen, let's do a little bit of a Chiefs offseason recap up to this point. A couple signings have happened that we haven't got to talk about. I'll pull them up here on the screen just so everybody can kind of see them. Not even just kind of see them. You can see them when I do it. So the Chiefs, obviously, the biggest signing of the offseason, Chris Jones. The Chiefs signed Chris Jones to a 5-year deal that includes $95 million guaranteed. His agents told ESPN. Basically, when you look at it, it's really at the least amount of years. The Chiefs have a reasonable out after 2 years, and after 3 years, they have a very reasonable out. So, and listen, and like the 5th year, and like the 4th year, I think he has like $10 million guaranteed, and like a $30 million that if we pick up his option, that'll get paid extra, and like his 5th year is like $8 million and $33 million. Like, so he's never seen that money, right? He's probably not gonna see.
Yeah,
we're probably never gonna see the 4th or 5th year of Chris Jones' contract, or if we do, it's because he's still playing at an incredible level. I don't see it, but I think it's a great deal. I personally liked it. I don't know where you landed on it, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's Chris Jones. I think it would be ridiculous for him to not be on the team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they got something worked out to where he's back on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people, obviously the answer was, okay, do you pay Chris Jones, or are you going to pay Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, or are you going to pay L'Jarius Sneed? Like, that's the question. Paying Chris Jones means you're probably going to lose some of those guys. I think if L'Jarius Sneed plays for us one more year, I think he's gone after that. I mean, obviously he's franchise tagged right now. The Chiefs have explored trade options, but they can just pay him. Like, I think they can get that deal done. I think they can pay him the franchise tag. I don't think they want to pay him like the top cornerback in the NFL. And to be fair, no All-Pros.
Yeah, but he's been robbed of All-Pros.
He's also been hurt like a lot. Like, he's had a lingering knee injury for a long time. He didn't participate in training camp at all, so the medicals are a little concerning. And I think that's also keeping his trade value low. So I think that's part of it also that people are kind of missing out on, and I think that is a larger part of this L'Jarius Sneed conversation that people aren't seeing. So, but also what I was also going to say is that if your option is Chris Jones or L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback room is so deep right now, and there's an All-Pro corner on the other side of L'Jarius Sneed right now, anyways, that I think he could help cover up some of. If you're going to have to put Joshua Williams on the outside, or Jalen Watson's going to play for, you have a little more Nick Jones or Nazeeh Johnson. I think Brett Veach has shown that he can find solid cornerback cornerback talent late in the draft. And I think that is a bigger factor of why they're not paying L'Jarius Sneed and why they had to play Chris Jones, because there's no more help coming on the defensive line. Yes, George Karlaftis looks good. And I think if Charles Omenihu wouldn't have torn his ACL in the AFC Championship game, I think there'd be more questions on whether or not we would have paid Chris Jones. But with him being out for probably a large chunk of next year, I think it made it where you just had to pay Chris Jones.
It's kind of a perfect storm for Chris, because the Chiefs already spent a lot of draft capital drafting FAU.
Mm-hmm.
And then they want to also, continue to develop George Karlaftis, who's been good. And they want to see if they can fill that role. And then, Chris gets to stay there. And then
Aaron Donald is retiring now, so you're for sure the slam dunk best defensive tackle in the league. And before that, he was getting old and hurt more anyways, so you're already the slam dunk best defensive tackle in the league.
Right.
Like L'Jarius Sneed is a great cornerback, but I'm not sure he's the best cornerback in the league, right? I think that's safe to say.
L'Jarius Sneed? Probably not.
I'd probably take Sauce Gardner over him. I'd probably take Trent McDuffie over him. He's a playmaker, though.
Yeah,
There's something to be said.
It's weird. It would be weird to put him outside the top 5 cornerbacks, but I guess I wouldn't pay him number 1 overall money. I don't know.
I'd put him in my top 10. I don't know if I'd put him in my top 5. Just a great example. I have no problem paying him the average top 5 salary of cornerbacks, but I don't want to pay him number 1. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I wouldn't pay him number 1 overall.
I think you have to sign almost like Chris Jones did, where Chris Jones signed like a 3-year deal on his second contract, like a 2 or 3 year extension, and then he got top defensive tackle money, and then he's getting top defensive tackle money one more time. Where it's like, I don't think L'Jarius Sneed is at a point in his career right now where he can say, okay, top cornerback money for me. And it's really, I would say, if you sign for 2 years at top 5 cornerback money at the franchise tag level, you sign for 2 or 3 years at that money, and then that next contract, I think you can go and say, okay, I have all pros. I've done this. I've won you another Super Bowl. I was it's like, listen, okay, now pay me top cornerback money. And then the Chiefs would go, Chris, we'll see you later. L'Jarius, we're going to keep you. But also the question also comes down, would you rather pay Trent McDuffie or would you rather pay L'Jarius Sneed?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a problem that we could put off to the future because we're not gonna have to worry about it with all these teams not trading us a second round pick and trying to give us a third. The Chiefs are gonna happily say no and just pay him top 5 money.
Yeah, at this point, nobody wants to trade anybody to the Chiefs. This is honestly, it's a little insane that nobody's even taking the Chiefs calls. Who just got traded? Oh my gosh. Fucking Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. Yeah. The Chiefs. They said that the Chiefs at least gave them the same deal, if not a better deal, than what the Panthers offered them. But the Steelers said no, we don't want to trade him in the conference, so they traded him to the Panthers instead.
Right.
And people say, well, they just wouldn't have traded him to any AFC team. And I was like, listen, if the fucking Indianapolis Colts were beating down your door asking about it, I think you would have traded them for the same thing you trade to the Panthers, or a slightly better option.
I mean, but if you're the Steelers, though, I get you're trying to keep it out of competition, but brother, you're not competitive. So let's be real next time. Just trade to the Chiefs anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So let's move on to the second biggest signing of the offseason. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, coming from the Arizona Cardinals, former Baltimore Raven, heading to the Chiefs. 1-year deal worth up to $11 million with incentives.
Yeah, it's like $4 million in incentives, base deal $7 million.
I think that's fine. It's very Juju Smith-Schuster where you're like, listen, bring in a solid guy, 1 year, prove it. If he's awesome, maybe we sign him to a fit. Honestly, you could have given Juju what MVS got paid, right, for the last 2 years is $10 million a year. And there's an option that Marquise Brown goes for 800 yards this year, which would be a solid contributor for this offense, and the Chiefs could pay him 3 years, $30 million or whatever,
Yeah, but with Juju though, there was the injury concerns with the doctor saying as soon as he got to New England that his knee was ready to explode or whatever.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that's why the Chiefs didn't sign him. I think the Chiefs didn't even talk to him.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. But whatever. I would love for more players to ring chase with us like that. I'm so down for more 1-year wide receiver deals.
Well, and I think most importantly, it gives you a veteran presence in the wide receiver room who has been a number 1 wide receiver before. Because the Chiefs are still going to draft a wide receiver. That's simple.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If they don't draft a wide receiver in round 1 or 2, we're going to freak out. And really, we'll be upset if they don't draft one in round 1 still, right?
I don't know. Especially if they're just... Consider this, though. Consider this.
I'm considering.
You know who else didn't really draft wide receivers when they won a bunch of Super Bowls?
Yeah, but Bill Belichick's bad at drafting.
Yeah, but they still won, right? They hit on their defensive picks.
The game kind of passed him by.
And you know who never misses on defensive picks, Truman? Brett Veach. I'm sorry that 5th round pick and noted cringe political views, Darian Kennard didn't work out.
I was an offensive lineman, not a defensive lineman.
See, there you go. It proves my point.
I mean,
that's how little that guy played. I didn't even know. I didn't even realize.
Oh God, what was his name? Breland Speaks. That was one.
Yeah, but that was in the 2017 year. That was when the Brett Veach was skating on thin ice.
Dorian O'Daniel year.
Yeah, but once again, Dorian was like a 5th round pick.
4th rounder. 3rd rounder, maybe.
Yeah, but when you hit on L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie, you don't really need to do anything else. When you hit on George Karlaftis,
yeah, it
when you hit
solves
on
all, I guess.
when you hit
Interesting.
on dudes in the late rounds like Brian Cook and Chamari Connor, well, obviously not Brian Cook, second round pick, but Chamari Connor, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I would rather I want to, dude. This wide receiver draft is so deep. To get one at 32 would be. I think you're still getting a number one caliber. I think you get either
Yeah,
of the
but
guys from Texas. You get
are
either of
you
the guys
not
from Texas, and I'm happy, honestly.
are you not worried about the Brett Veach wide receiver pick though?
What?
Brett Veach notably passing up on DK Metcalf.
They needed a guy like Tyreek Hill. This offense worked with Tyreek Hill. They didn't have a plan to replace him. That was a knee jerk reaction. Everybody knows that. The Tyreek Hill news broke on draft night, and they drafted McCole Hardman,
which was ridiculous. Get out of our city, Brooke Pryor.
I don't think that's coincidence.
No, it wasn't. It just, perfect storm of bad things to happen. I think the Chiefs could have gone out
also,
and gotten
DK Metcalf has had a solid career. He hasn't really turned into the top 10 guy that a lot of people thought he was going to be.
Yeah, that's because he plays with bottom 10 quarterbacks.
That's also true. Who knows what he'd be doing with
Russell Wilson and Geno Smith and Drew Lock. Man, you're going to put up a lot of yards with those guys. Which is why,
off the top of your head, what wide receiver do you want that we can actually get?
Oh, I was just going to say Tyler Lockett.
That we can actually get in the draft.
Oh, in the draft?
Yes.
Well, I want a bigger body guy because if we have Marquise Brown, he's going to be more of the deep threat.
Sure.
But I think Xavier Worthy would be good, but I think the Chiefs need to stop being gimmicky and just draft the big body guy.
I think the Chiefs could have drafted Xavier Worthy before he ran that 4.2 that combine breaking one. Very similar to Henry Ruggs, where Henry Ruggs was on nobody's radar, and then he ran a super fast 40. Ironically, I will say, after what happened to him. But the fact that if Xavier Worthy, I think, didn't do that, I think we'd be talking about Xavier Worthy easily at number 32. And now it's like, well, shit, I don't know. And then, ironically, I also think that Xavier Worthy moving up means that people are like, well, but A.D. Mitchell was the number one, so you have to pick him before Xavier Worthy. And now everybody's like, well, shit, got to pick A.D. in the top 20, and you got to pick Xavier Worthy in the top 30. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, just watching.
Well, I mean,
it's the same thing that happened last year, where you're like, there's the top 4 wide receivers are still available at pick number 20. You're like, holy shit, they might drop all the way to 31. And then it was wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, and you're like, fuck me, sideways, dude.
Well, I mean, like in an ideal world, I would really like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 31 teams pick quarterback, and then we get Marvin Harrison Jr. The Bob Fesco mock draft.
I remember us talking, Truman, about Ladd McConkey having a serious chance to fall to us, and I would like that, but I also think that we're entering the scary mistakes part of the draft, where just picking Ladd over Adonai Mitchell might be just a real serious mistake.
And I haven't seen Ladd McConkey's tape yet, so I need to watch some tape on him. Not that my tape scouting matters. I'm all eye test, baby. At this point, I'm convinced somebody has to really pop off. Like when guys are good, they really pop off on tape. Like Sky Moore showed me nothing on tape, where I was just like, whatever. Rashee Rice pops off on tape. Tyreek Hill, electric, popped off on tape.
Right. Yeah.
It's very rare. It's like, this is just a salt. Like I remember watching Jonathan Baldwin's tape, and it was just like, all right, that's fine. Okay, whatever. But Trent McDuffie had a lot of those plays where you're like, holy shit, look at that play.
Right. Exactly. So I'll watch some more tape with you this week for sure.
Yeah.
But
we'll be in the lab. We'll be in the lab.
If I was a fucking GM, dude, I would just want a team with 4 Megatrons on it. Just draft the tallest, best guy possible.
Especially if you have Patrick Mahomes. I agree with you.
I think I would want to, if I worked in football instead of working in podcasting, I would make an Excel spreadsheet of height and draft and bust, so I'd get my necessary height metric for succeeding in the NFL.
Yeah.
And obviously Tyreek Hill would throw my numbers, but
Yeah. By the way, while we talk about working in podcasting, we really like to shout out the ones that help us support us through this podcasting. Shout out patreon.com/open disaster. Shout out the patrons over there. Shout out Aaron, Joe, Skylar, Dylan, and Mailbox Kansas City, now open in the Iron District, selling shakes, cones, scoops, and melt monsters, of course.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this on Facebook today from our friend Michael, but if you're gonna go there, please look at the scheduled times they're open. It's really not fucking hard. I don't know who goes to a restaurant without googling their open availability,
I
but
know. That was crazy.
they had a one-star review today because someone didn't know that the Iron District closes at 3 on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
said, no, he posted that, I think, on like Saturday or something. But like the person had given a 5-star review before, and they went back and changed it to a 1-star review because they were like, we showed up at 3:05 and the hours said they closed at 3. Why were they closed? Who closes that early? It's like, that's what this fucking says on the fucking thing. That's what the hours are listed on the website. That's crazy.
And that's not even the restaurant time. That's the whole district. Like the whole.
Yeah, they're not even
little
allowed to
district
stay
has
open past 3. Because if one of them stay open past 3, they'll all stay, like, then it looks bad on the other ones. For the exact reason of you showing up, if one of them was open at 3:05, you would say, oh, all the other guys are just fucking lazy quitters who all went home early. So,
right. Which is the whole point of having a district-wide fucking, like, close time.
Don't show up after close, especially to restaurants. In American society, we have all accepted that if you get to a restaurant after close, you are not getting served. As an American society, we've accepted if you show up in the last 10 minutes that you're a douchebag if you're expecting to get served. You know?
That's what I was about to say. I don't know, Truman, if I know that you've worked food, but if you, the listener, have never worked food before, there is nothing worse than like a party of 5 coming into your restaurant like right before close.
You like the last hour at like a sit down restaurant still sucks.
Unless you're like
at Famous
sitting at
Dave's,
the fucking bar.
At Famous Dave's, we were tearing down kitchen at 9:15 and we close at 10.
Right.
And a lot of times the kitchens will tell you and be like, listen, our fryers are off. We can cut, or the fryers are on, but all the barbecue's done for the day. We could fry you up some fries and chicken tenders or something, but I can't cook you.
Which is why I think that more restaurants need to go to the bar and grill aspect so that they can close the kitchen without feeling bad and then just serve somebody some alcohol.
Oh, I tell you, that's my dream. That's my dream for Aggieville. I want to go open a bar, open during the day, or it's like a sit down restaurant, like solid options during the day, and have a bar scene and whatnot. But at like 11, like close the bar down. I don't want the super nasty drunks in, but just open up like the back alley and sell like barbecue. Just sell barbecue sandwiches.
Oh,
$5
and do like
and
try to take some of the fucking the varsity
drunk
truck.
food. The drunk food situation, yeah. Yeah, like the drunk food situation.
Yeah, we could open it up and we could sell really big slices of pizza and we could call it Left's Pizza.
And why Left's Pizza?
Because it's almost like Jeff's Pizza. It's really close.
Left's Pizza. That's funny. I want to serve barbecue, but we could also do pizza. Pizza and barbecue, honestly, barbecue pizza. Simple, easy,
it's right there.
Problem solved.
Anyway, football.
That's all I've got for you. I just want to. We can sell slices and slices. You know what I'm saying? Sliced brisket and slices of pizza. Slices and slices. The $10 slice and slice.
Now we could do like a Halloween special.
You're welcome. Opening soon in Aggieville. Sorry, not the Iron District. Everything's opening in the Iron District at this point. Oh, and let's talk about the next Chiefs signing I want to ask you about. I know this one was popular with me and popular with a lot of people. Drew Tranquill, 3-year, $19 million deal.
He had a 3-year deal?
3 years, $19 million. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was that long. I thought it was like a 1-year 9.
$13 million fully guaranteed, which means it's really a 2-year deal.
Well, I mean, it's a great deal, but I still can't believe you let Willie Gay walk for 1 year 7.
I think Drew Tranquill is better than Willie Gay.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know, dude. But listen, I'll tell you one thing that Drew Tranquill is definitely better than Willie Gay at is covering wide receivers.
Covering wide receivers. And he's good at run fit. Or Nick Bolton's really good at. Honestly, Nick Bolton's really good at run fit, and Drew Tranquill really complements Nick Bolton's game. Honestly.
Well, listen, you can't have two guys that are bad at coverage and good at run defense, which is Nick Bolton and Willie Gay at the same time.
And Leo Chenal, also a great a great kind of run defender and who can cover a tight end, who's going to also blitz a lot, he kind of also helps come in and fill that Willie Gay role as well.
Yeah, and the thing with Drew Tranquill is that he spent enough time in LA winning nothing. His first year here comes and wins something with the Chiefs. He was willing to take that longer team friendly deal because he knows that he has a chance to win in like one, if not two or three more.
Dude, his contract, or like him at the parade, was literally all just like, I gotta come back. I need me more of this, and it's like, damn, that man wants it.
Yeah, they were putting him up on the jumbotron when we were out there, and he like I swear like he was obliterated just like the rest of the guys out there. But
Yeah.
I don't think you could count the number of times this guy said better than LA. Like
Right. Yeah. Which
so yeah,
that's all
super.
you gotta say to be a Chiefs
I'm
fan.
happy for Drew Tranquill. I think he fits the team really well. He fits the Spags defense, and he does exactly what Andy Reid and Spags need him to do. And you know,
And then they kind of
he's not
rounded it off with a little bit of depth signings that make you feel fine about it. Tershawn Wharton's coming back. I think that's fine. I think that's
good depth piece.
underrated. He's fine. You just need somebody on the other side of Chris Jones. Speaking of somebody on the other side of Chris Jones, Chiefs also bringing back Derek Nottie.
Didn't we also sign Mike Pennell?
They did sign Mike Pennell as well. Yes, I was trying to see that they have the Derek Nottie numbers on there. They don't yet. They did sign Irv Smith Jr. at tight end, which is really interesting, I think.
I think that just means no more Blake Bell.
Well, Jody Fortson is gone too, so and Noah Gray is still going to be here, so they'll fight. And I think that's solid. I think if your backup tight ends are Irv Smith Jr. and Noah Gray, both very Travis Kelce type of wide receivers that I think are, fuck. Well, there goes all the ones for the tight end heads that want to talk shit about Travis Kelce not being a blocker. They're both very Travis Kelce types of tight end, where they're really more of receiving than blocking, I think. But Irv Smith, big body, I think he'll fit in fine and be a good option down at the goal line, very similar to Jody Fortson, R.I.P. Jody Fortson, to the Dolphins.
I'm upset with people saying that Travis Kelce isn't a good blocker. He is a good blocker. He's not a top 5 blocker in the league like Gronk was, which I don't think
he's not a road
the
grader.
tight end needs to be anymore.
No. And to be fair, how much better of a receiver he is than Gronk makes up all the difference. And I know what everybody's saying. Well, what about the 17 touchdowns? Oh, Gronk he was just different when you saw him, dude. It's the same. Like, it's the same thing with like Jordan, where they'll show like the same 8 plays from Gronk, but if you go just watch a Patriots game when like Gronk had a dominating game, you're just like, okay, dude, he just was playing against fucking scrubs. He's playing against a fucking terrible division.
It's like, oh, he's catching a ball in 10 yards of space.
Right. Like, okay. I mean, so does Travis Kelce. But Travis Kelce helps some guys miss. And a lot of times Travis Kelce is shaking somebody open. That's why he's getting that open.
Yeah, all that to say, I'm fine with the Irv Smith signing. It's fine. Like, it's a guy that, has the ability to be a tight end too. And, you can run if he passes up Noah Gray, which I don't think he will because Noah Gray's been, really decent. But it just, it gets you just a little bit more depth of the position, and there's never anything wrong with that. I will miss Jody, though.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest the biggest what if in like recent Chiefs memory. Just like what if he didn't, what if he wasn't made of glass?
He's like Tony Moyaki, honestly. And a couple special teamers. Deion Bush got re-signed. James Winchester gets re-signed. James Winchester probably a bigger deal than Deion Bush, but happy to have them both back, honestly.
No, Truman, do you remember Deion Bush's hilarious signing day tweet?
I remember the Deion Bush signing day. Yes.
So for those of you who don't remember, the day that we traded Tyreek to Miami, we also signed Deion Bush from Chicago. And Deion was like, "Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, what's up?" And the entirety of Chiefs Twitter was like, "Not down, Deion." Like,
yeah, he's like, "All right, I'll see you guys later."
And he's like, "All right, I'll come back in a bit." And I think it was either one day or 2 days later, he tweeted someone like barely peeking over a fence and was like, "Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, what's up?"
Yeah, right. That was pretty
really funny. Really funny.
All right, real quick, let's rapid fire on some NFL QB free agency. Huge deals there.
Been spicy.
Obviously, let's start with the biggest one. What I'll say is the biggest one. This feels like the biggest one. Kirk Cousins, Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, Kirk is good. He's like been a top 5 QB when he's healthy, but that's a lot.
4 years,
of money,
180 for an old guy coming off of a Achilles tear. God, that's fucking classic Falcons. $45 million a year, man.
Yes, yeah. It's fully
Makes
guaranteed.
me.
Isn't it like mostly guaranteed?
I don't know. I'm sure it is.
I'll Google. We'll see if it's fully guaranteed.
Here, a deal that made a little more sense. Baker Mayfield getting re-signed 3 years for $100 million. I think that makes sense. I think the Bucs are like, who are we going to go find? And I think Baker's like, I don't need to go make top QB money. I'm not top QB. And it's like, okay. I think they both went, who are we? We're meant for each other. Russell Wilson heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same with Justin Fields getting traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 6th-round pick. Conditional 6th-round
Let's
pick.
steal.
Means that the Bears are all for it on Caleb Williams. How are you feeling about that, buddy?
It would be really funny if Caleb Williams was another bust.
I don't see. He holds the ball for long. I know he makes great plays with his arm, but I don't know, man.
I don't know, Truman. Being a Patrick Mahomes fan and being in the same conference as Josh Allen, my surefire opinion is that no one ever knows.
Well, and I'm not sure that Eberflus is a great developer of talent. Like that's going to be that's the flip side that people are like, well, Mahomes was really raw when he came out. Yeah, and then he went to a quarterback guru. He went to the perfect situation. He went to Doug Peterson and Andy Reid teaching him how to play the quarterback position.
And the starter in front of him was Alex Smith.
Or maybe it wasn't Doug Peterson at that time. It might have been Mike Kafka by that time. But still, you get the point,
Right.
You know what? It might have been Dougie P.
And the QB in front of him with that was Alex Smith, showing him how to, win games without turning the ball over.
No, it wasn't Dougie P. It was Mike Kafka by then. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, you nailed it with the double take. But yeah, I don't know. It's just another one of those things. It's a QB situation, right? Blah blah blah. Right. And I do think that, judging this current class that's coming in will have a lot to do as well with how well Bryce Young does this next year.
Right. Yeah, they're also going to give Caleb Williams all the weapons that they never gave Justin Fields. They gave Justin Fields DJ Moore, but now he's also getting Keenan Allen. They're probably also going to get another wide receiver in the top 10. Quick shout out to Easy Baconator for subscribing with his Prime subscription. By the way, did you guys know if you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get a free sub called Prime Gaming? You can give it to any of your favorite content creators, and we get a couple free dollars just for that. So we appreciate Easy Baconator doing that instead of giving Jeff Bezos the money. He gave it to us.
All the hussy it can eat,
That's right. Because, Truman, if you do not use your Prime sub, it goes right back to Jeff Bezos.
It's true. Gardner Minshew signed with the Raiders, 2 years, $25 million. I think that makes a lot of sense. They're going to draft a quarterback who's going to be young. Everybody, but all those teams, they can never fucking help themselves. I haven't seen a single team, thank God for Alex Smith, man. Alex Smith sat there, and everybody knew Mahomes was going to play. But Alex Smith went out there, and he played very good. He played just well enough that everybody went, you know what? Okay, just keep him in. They're like, nobody, maybe a couple times that year did people go, put Mahomes in, let's see what he's got. It was always, when you lose, that's going to happen. But,
I think the most important drive of that season, Truman, was literally that first game, that OT drive.
Oh, yeah, dude. I still have that photo of Alex Smith, screaming after the Chargers game when they took that really cool photo of him.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett to the New England Patriots. I think that's fine. Jameis Winston signed with the Cleveland Browns.
Wait, Brissett back to the Patriots?
Yeah, Brissett to the Patriots for 1 year, $8 million. Fine.
That's funny.
Jameis Winston to the Browns. Criminals to criminals.
Oh my God.
Tyrod Taylor went to the Jets, of course, for once Aaron Rodgers leaves to go be the vice president. We all get it. Sam Darnold went to the Minnesota Vikings, another team that's going to draft a young quarterback that hopes to have a bridge quarterback, but this will not work out either. Sam Darnold isn't going to be able to keep that job long enough. You're going to have people. You're going to get that itchy trigger finger. Whoever the Vikings play, I would bet $5 that whoever the Vikings draft is going to play meaningful time next year because they can't help themselves with Sam Darnold in there. Drew Lock.
Yeah, probably not.
Drew Lock signed to the New York Giants. It's a weird one. Tyler Huntley also signed with the Cleveland Browns. Josh Dobbs to the San Francisco 49ers happened today.
He'll win the starter job.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph signed with the Tennessee Titans. I totally missed that one. That's fine.
That one's weird.
Josh Johnson
Happy
went
for
back to the
Mason.
Baltimore Ravens, and Sam Howell was traded to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, Howell might start.
Howell will not start, but he can develop behind Geno for another year or two.
God, how is Geno still walking, bro? He's like 6 now?
Oh, what? So 2012 was his draft year because it was the
Yeah, man, that
Chiefs'
was
number
12
one
years
overall
ago.
pick. I think he's like 34. How old is
He's
Geno Smith?
33. He's 33.
You just did it?
Yeah, look it up.
Okay, yeah. So he'll be 34 in October this year. So yeah, I think
Geno needs more people writing him off, unfortunately.
I think Geno is going to play another fine year, and they're going to go, and then the following year it's going to be a quarterback battle in camp between him and Sam Howell. I'm not sure Geno's contract is. Did he sign for 2 years or 3 years? I thought he got a 3-year deal.
I think it was a 3-year deal, and everyone was like, "Why the hell did you sign Geno for 3?"
Yeah, again, it's like it's like hiring an interim coach who does really well. You're like, God, we're gonna have to fucking pay him, or everybody's gonna be mad, and then you don't pay him, and everybody gets mad at you, or you do pay him, and everybody goes, "Why would you do that?" And then he's
Right.
bad. Yeah, and they didn't even really have a great potential out.
Yeah, it's like, you need your interim coach to do exactly what Romeo Crennel did, which is just have one good win and then lose every other game.
Yeah, he's 14 million. He's getting paid this year, of course. He signed a 3-year deal for $75 million, so $25 a year, 25 mil a year. His base salary next year is still 14.8. His cap hit will be 38.5. His dead cap will be 13.5. So they can cut him after this. They can cut him after this year with 13.5
look at
dead
contracts,
cap.
Truman?
What?
What's that website you use to look at people's contracts?
Spotrac. Spot rack. However you want it. SPOTRAC.com.
Gotcha.
But yeah, dead cap be 13.5 next year if they cut him. His cap hits 38.5. So he's probably getting cut after next year to say $25.5 million. But I don't know, man.
That's kind of wild.
I think Sam Howell. I think the Seattle's in a tough spot. Every time I see all this stuff happen in quarterback free agency and all these trades happen, I'm so glad that we have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, so Mahomes' cap hit next year is only 37 mil, which is a little bit interesting.
And he could probably restructure it to save another 20 million just like he did this year. So,
right.
And Mahomes, while I didn't believe in it with Jalen Hurts and them spreading out that cap hit for 10 years for Jalen Hurts' contract, you can keep on pushing that can down the road. I don't care if my kids are adults waiting for Mahomes' contract to finally stop being a cap hit on it. Listen, it'll be worth no matter he's won 3 Super Bowls. It is worth whatever he fucking does to destroy our cap for the next 40 years. That's fine. Who cares?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
live the high now. We're pushing all that money down the road.
If it was a perfect world, he'd be like the 20th highest paid player in the league. But Mahomes is like a competitive player, but he's not dumb.
Yeah.
So
wait till he's at like 35 and then he starts to do the Brady stuff. Then it'll be fine.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe he'll reason us out down to the end. Okay, let's move on. Let's shift gears a little bit from the world of NFL quarterbacks to the world of college basketball. Owen, I have a kind of a complicated question I want to ask you. K-State went to the NIT. They'll be playing I believe it's one of the 3 seeds, Iowa, which, by the way, there's 4 1 through 4 seeds, and K-State isn't one of them. That means K-State was, for the NIT, in the NIT's eyes, was outside the top 16 teams that would just barely miss the tournament.
That's kind of insane, but okay.
That's very insane, yes. So they'll face I think it was a 3 seed Iowa. I'm almost positive of it now. Here's my question that I want to ask you.
Yep.
Is it I think I'm in a weird camp. I don't think I want to see K-State go very far in the NIT. I think I want to see them win like 2 games and lose. Does that make sense?
Well, the thing about the NIT is the same thing as every other, it's the same thing as the Europa League for soccer. It's like you didn't make the top tournament. So you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place of wanting your team to be like, hey, we're in this tournament, so why don't we just go win it? That'd be fun.
Right.
But you also don't want to win it because you'll get bantered by your in-state rivals uh,
Right.
fans for winning a second-rate tournament.
Yeah, because literally if we win it, we're gonna hang another NIT championship banner, and they're all just gonna make fun of us for not having any natties again. I mean, you sit there, you go, shit. What do we do here?
KU's getting knocked out like first or second round this year, so I'd be down to hang a banner. I don't give a shit.
Honestly, that'd be the only benefit. Like K-State needs to go to like the Final Four and lose to like a Power 5 conference team. So that way everybody goes, listen, they put up a fight. They lost to a good team. That's fine. And as long as we don't hang a fucking NIT Final Four banner, then I think we'll be fine.
Oh, no. Just win the damn thing. Just win the fucking tournament. I don't think you should ever be punished for winning.
I just don't want to deal with the banter, man.
I don't care. Only two. Well, three if you count the CIB. But only 3 teams hang a banner every year. So.
Yeah, I mean, but you're a fucking Tottenham Hotspurs fan, so I know you're always worried about those second tier trophies.
Yes, sir. Just win a trophy. Just win a fucking trophy. That's all that matters.
That's fair. Let's move on to the next one. K-State women. I think there's one big question that everybody's asking. Can the K-State women beat Iowa one more time? If obviously K-State women, a 4 seed, they're hosting. We don't want to look too far ahead, but they are hosting their region, or their kind of the first 2 rounds will be in Manhattan, Kansas. You can buy a session ticket for $30.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty tempting. Pretty tempting to go there. But K-State is the 4 seed, so they would play the 5 seed if everything goes right. They win, and the 5 seed wins. They'll play the 5 seed the next round. But the round after that, they will play the 1 seed in their bracket, and the 1 seed happens to be Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes, who the K-State women have famously beat last year, and already beat them once this year, but also lost to them this year. So the question becomes, can the K-State women beat Iowa one more time? Even with Caitlin Clark, 1, kind of on revenge, 2, already declared for the WNBA draft, so you know that she's looking forward to that she knows this is her last ride, and she probably wants to finish off with a national championship, because so everybody can just call her the GOAT and that we can all move on. But I don't know. Where do you fall on that? What do you think? I also, my biggest concern is that I think that this K-State women's team is not the same K-State women's team that was rolling at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I don't know why it isn't.
Banged up, injuries.
Yeah, but they're not really. They're not missing any starters.
Aoka has really been banged up a fair amount lately.
Yeah, because she gets banged up down in the post when they elbow her in the ribs.
God, that fucking bitch from Iowa State, man. Holy shit. Did you see that she did the what was her name? Rakes, or it's like hooks? What?
She did the Stephon Diggs thing.
Yeah, she did the Stephon Diggs thing where she was watching the confetti fall.
Yeah, I did see that.
It was like, okay, dude.
Iowa State, by the way, Truman, is a 7 seed on the other side of the bracket.
I know, but they struggle against Iowa State. I think it was mostly Aoka just taking a pounding in the pate from that girl, and her getting away with a lot of stuff.
I don't know. I think losing early in the conference tournament was good for the Cats. They needed the rest. They needed to suit up and regroup.
Yeah, that's fair.
For once, they need to take a page from KU and stop.
And they won enough games to get to still host the regional. That was huge.
Right, exactly. I think that's one thing that Power 5 schools care a little bit too much about, is winning the conference tournament.
Mm-hmm. It's fair.
So,
okay.
Yeah, right, I think they can do it.
Yeah,
but it's like they need to play like they played earlier in the year and put it all together. These last couple games have been playing a lot of hero ball, and similar to the men, just haven't been playing as a team versus just individual players. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, we'll see. They can. They absolutely have the talent to do it. You don't get to top 10 ranking or number 2 in the nation while being a fraud. So
I think they're out of gas. I think They just don't have that same energy they had earlier in the year. They look like they've been ready for that season to be over for a while now. And I worry about that on the flip side of this. I'm hoping Aoka Lee comes back for one more year, which I think she's got a COVID year she can use, but I don't know, man. I am worried. Listen, I love the Lady Cats. I think they're going to do great. I'm hoping they're going to do great. I'm just worried about it. I'm worried about how this second half of the season has looked.
We'll see. It'll always be cool to hang an Natty.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, and we'd flaunt that for sure. But yeah. Okay. Well, that brings us to our top 5 of the day of the show. Oh, and I want to do top 5 fun teams to win March Madness. I don't want any fucking UConns. Jay Billis, by the way, he picked 3 1 seeds and a 2 seed. Thank you, Jay. How very creative. Very nice of your work. He picked a 1 seed versus a 1 seed in the national championship. Oh my God, dude!
Yeah,
that's not what March Madness is about.
All right.
You got to pick like 1 seed, but not 3 1 seeds and a 2.
But teams that would. So you just want me to choose 5 fun teams. So definitely no 1 seeds.
You can pick a 1 seed if you want to.
But
no, sorry. For this one, no. This list you can't. No.
Okay.
Listen. Everybody's going to be picking UConn. I would avoid picking UConn simply based on the fact that even if you pick UConn, the way that you're going to win your tournament bracket is not because if you pick UConn and they win, so are 15 other people in your tournament bracket, which, by the way, real quick, before we get into this, I want to announce this on the show. We'll even title the video so that way any of you that are listening to this know that it's happening. Top 5. So we're doing March Madness here, but Dahm, that's true, is going to be running a March Madness tournament. I think we're going to give Dahm, that's true, merch to the top 3 people. It'll either be a hoodie or a t-shirt. Probably a t-shirt based on, we'll just look at prices and whatnot. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be like $20 to $30 worth. Honestly, we'll probably give you the option and and you can let us know. So we're going to work through it. We're going to design the shirt. We'll hopefully reveal the shirt either next week or as we go into the Final Four. But so what we're going to do is we're going to start the show. We're going to name it. We're going to do an ESPN bracket challenge, and we're going to do the password. And the password, Owen, pick a password.
Underdog. 50.
Underdog. And we're going to go capital U, capital D. Capital D dog.
54. Put 54 on the end of it.
No, I think underdog is fine. Capital U, capital D. So that way, if you listen, why did you want it to be? Why did you want it to be 54?
Just in case someone actually randomly guesses it.
How about 15 for Patrick Mahomes?
There you go.
There you go.
Underdog. Capital U, capital D, underdog 15. I love it.
Yes. Capital U, capital D, underdog 15. 1-5. The number 15 for the record. So that way, that'll be the password. Anybody who listens to the show, especially to this point, congrats. You can enter this contest. It'll be totally free. We'll give you guys a shirt or something. I will probably run my normal Truman Steen pork butt bracket, where if you win, I'll make a pork butt and give it to you for free. And that will be open to pretty much everybody. But for the special Dahm That's True listeners, anybody who's listening to this show specifically, you guys, underdog 15, capital U, capital D. I'll probably try to post this show tonight, post the bracket challenge with that, and then anybody who's got the password from listening to the show, congrats, you got it.
Congratulations.
But for sure, the bracket challenge will be posted by tomorrow at noon. So that's a little deadline. Just make sure that we get it up at a reasonable time.
So it should be up by the time you hear this episode.
Yes. Hopefully. I honestly will probably just go ahead and make it tonight. But just in case, if it's not up by tomorrow morning, if you go look, we'll name it Dahm That's True 2024 Bracket Challenge. That'll be it. Dahm, ! That's True 2024 Bracket Challenge. I'll post that link to it with the show and say, hey, listen, if you listen to the show and you get the password, then you get a free entry. Be cool. We'll give you a shirt. We'll give you a hoodie. We'll give you a hat. We'll give you, we'll work out what it's going to be, but it'll be 3 pieces of merch.
Whatever, for you get that sweet
And that way,
DTT swag.
Honestly, I'm going to get a little DTT swag with it because I don't have any Dahm That's True merch. And I got Owen a Dahm That's True hoodie in March of 2021, right after we started this show. And it is fading. So
it is still comfy, though.
Yeah.
Still comfy.
It faded like in the first, like after like a year. But it really hasn't faded much after like that initial fade. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it's because I wore it a whole bunch, honestly, and so it ended up getting washed.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because now it's kind of like
comfy.
vintage, which is kind of cool. You know,
it had the vintage look.
Take that for what you will. Okay, so with that being said, top 5 fun teams that can win March Madness. I've got my list right here for you, Owen.
All right, go ahead.
Number 5, Michigan State. Because so many people talk shit on Michigan State. It'd be very funny if they won the national championship. Because everybody's like, Michigan State wouldn't be in if they didn't have the fucking name brand, if they didn't have Tom Izzo, all this shit. It'd be very funny. Very similar to the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl where everybody's like, oh, God, is it going to be the fucking Chiefs? It's going to make me so mad. It'd be very funny to make everybody very mad by Michigan State winning. Number 4, Gonzaga. Gonzaga's a 5 seed this year. I think it'd be very funny if all the 1 seeds and Gonzaga can never get it done. You know, the number 1 overall seed, like 4 or 5 years or whatever, never got it done. All of a sudden, Gonzaga, the 5 seed, gets it done. Hilarious. No, don't know any stars on that team anymore. I don't. Is fucking Timmy still playing? Probably. Number 3, BYU. I think it's funny to watch the Mormons if they went on a run. I mean, they were also hot before the Big 12 tournament, and they kind of cooled off there. But I don't think you can put much, Tang got eliminated in the first round of the Big 12 tournament last year and still went to the Elite Eight. So I think that's fine. Number 2, Auburn. I was seeing something that said Auburn, like there's a list of like teams that have been, there's like a ranking system where it's like if they're in the top 40 of offensive rankings and the top 35 of defensive rankings, then 95 of the last national champions have come from that, and 100% of them have had at least the offensive ranking or something like that. So Auburn was in that, and then also my number 1 pick would be Marquette. I don't think it's been a while since Marquette's won a national championship, and they're always there. Like Marquette is one of those names because they're, I don't even know if they have a football team. I don't think they do. So it's one of those names that you only really associate with March, but even less so than like Gonzaga, where Gonzaga is always like a 1 or 2 seed, and you're like, all right, well, Gonzaga's here. Marquette's always like a 4 or 5. I think this year they're a 2 seed, but I think every other year they're like a 4 or 5 or 6 seed. But you're like, listen, I'm gonna put Marquette through to at least the Sweet 16 because it's fucking Marquette, and they always show up for the
March so Truman, I pulled it up. So the last time they were champions was 77, so they do have a champion. But since like 2005, they've missed the tournament like 6 total times in the last 20 years.
Yes, and I know I just told you guys that I know that we're all going to be in a bracket challenge against each other. Which, by the way, it'll probably be the top 3 people that are outside of me and Owen. Unless if me and Owen get top 2, maybe we'll just not give anybody anything. No, I'm just kidding. We're giving people stuff, but yeah. So 95% have been. Hold on, it's. Here, I'm looking for. Okay, 95% of the winners have ranked 37th or better in adjusted defense efficiency margin, and 100% have ranked 44th or better. And this is in pre-tournament KenPom metrics, adjusted offensive efficiency and adjusted defensive efficiency.
Gotcha.
So yeah, 95% of winners have ranked 37th or better in adjusted defensive efficiency margin, and 100% have ranked 44th or better, and 95% have ranked 21st or better in adjusted offensive efficiency. So I will give you there are 8 teams that rank above those two, 37th or better in defense and 21st or better in offense. Those 8 teams are UConn, Purdue, Duke, Arizona, Auburn, Creighton, Houston, and Marquette.
I will tell you, Truman, though.
Yeah.
That Western Kentucky looks good.
That's fair. Western Kentucky. Weird. Okay. I will also say 5 teams. This person went on to say that 5 teams who are very popular in brackets but did not meet the threshold by a large margin include Iowa State, who is 55th in O. Remember, you have to be 21st or better. Illinois, who is 93rd in D. You have to be, 41st or better, really? Alabama, who was 112th in D. Kentucky, who was 108th in D. And Baylor, who was 64th in D. So maybe a couple teams to avoid at least going all the way. But I probably wouldn't even put him in my Final
I have
Four.
Iowa State for a first-round exit, man. They are the most fraudulent team of all time.
They're 2 seed. There's no way they're losing to a 15. I'm for a second-round exit. I don't have them losing to a 15
Bro,
seed.
we're talking about Big 12 schools here.
You cannot reason your way to them.
Alcorn State, Stephen F. Austin, LaSalle,
Norfolk State,
Bucknell, Ball State, all 15 seeds that have beat Big 12 teams.
Norfolk State.
I
believe Mizzou was still a Big 12 team at that time, yes.
It's happening. They're going to get cold from 3, and they're going to lose.
Nah, I'd still have them losing in the second round. But, yeah.
We'll see.
I'll give it to you. All right, well, cool. All right, Owen, give me your 5.
All right, number 5, that's where I put Marquette because they're a 2 seed. I think it's kind of lame to put them super high up.
I think that's fair. I think after all I said about
Power 5 conference team to win, though.
That's fair. I think all I said after picking, top 5 or not picking number 1 overall seeds for my top 1 fun team to win to be a 2 seed is lame. I will agree with that.
Okay, it's fine though. Number 4, Alabama, because it would be really annoying for Alabama to just recently stop winning football foreseeably for the near future and then win in basketball. That would be terrible.
Yep.
Number 3, Nebraska. Just because they have that one Japanese kid that's like lighting things up and apparently is like super awesome.
Yes,
especially
and
for
Nebraska
to win
ball
everything.
famous for winning tournament games.
Yeah, when they have 0 NCAA tournament wins all time, for them just to take their only tournament win straight to the championship would be hilarious.
Like they're the Royals in 2014.
Right, exactly. Number 2, Dayton, just because Dayton's always been good. And even with Steph Curry, they couldn't quite get over the hump. So it would be fun to see a good Dayton team win this.
Yep.
And number 1, I have SMU, St. Mary's.
Oh.
Because once again, just another team, not a Power 5 conference, always a high seed, but not always like a super high seed, but always like 3, 4, 5 seed. It would be fun to see one of these smaller schools finally get a championship.
Absolutely. I'm down for anybody from the WCC. I think it'd be fun. St. Mary's or Gonzaga. I'll take them.
Absolutely.
All right. That's it. We're done. Top 5. Appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you for hanging out. Again, underdog 15 for the Dahm That's True 2024 Bracket Challenge. Capital U, capital D, underdog 15. Appreciate it for hanging out. Twitter.com/OwenGoshDominant. Twitter.com/Steam Machine. YouTube.com Open Disaster Productions. Shout out me and Owen no longer having a mustache. Pretty fire, honestly.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
You're welcome, Mom.
Welcome back, Babyface. You're welcome, Tina. Tina hated the mustache the most out of it.
Yeah, my mom and my dad and all my siblings frequently told me whenever they saw me that they hated it. So
fair. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. See you. Good luck in the tournament bracket because you're gonna fucking need it.